You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate, and
Mhm.
negotiation is all about leverage as well. So what they did was
The
it's just
Gulag, because
yeah
someone else came from the Gulag this week.
from the god yeah.
Brittany Griner.
Shout out to Brittany Griner. She's out.
Quite a crazy deal right there.
That was a crazy deal. Who
I mean,
won? I watched of course on all these debate shows, sport debate shows. It's
mhm.
always the question like when there's a trade, who won? Who won the trade? KR, who won the trade? Was it Russia or the US?
That's a good question. It
Yeah,
depends on
so
how you look at it. So the question is who won?
yeah, who won the trade? Because it
Um,
was a trade.
it was a trade, yes. It depends on how you look at it, the angle you want to take. So
Okay.
on a basis, if you think that it's important to bring back whoever you can get,
Yeah,
it's a win for the US. I mean, they got Brittany Griner back
yeah,
against all. Well, at what cost, you can ask? That's
yeah,
a good question, but you got her back.
yeah.
If you weigh in the
The weight of H.
crime, the
So
crime.
maybe it's good to talk about the players. Let's talk about the players that were involved in this trade. On
Yeah.
the one hand, you had a WNBA player
Mm-hmm.
who was caught with marijuana, I think. In stay away from the weed.
Uh,
She was caught with weed in Russia. I think she was at the Russian airport and was detained and eventually was trialed and sentenced to 9 years of prison.
mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, that was so she was detained in Russia, and on the other side of the trade, the U.S. side, U.S. had a person who goes by the name of the merchant of doom
Death.
of death,
Death.
the the
Viktor
merchant
Bout.
of
It's
death
about that life.
is about that life, and he's also a arms dealer. Basically, I read that he financed so weapons, right? He provides
Mhm.
weapons to or he provided weapons to amongst other places, Africa, so in African conflict, but all over the world actually.
Mhm.
So I
Terrorist,
think, and the criticism now is that hey, there's another war veteran in Russia. Why didn't you get him out instead of Brittany Griner? Any comments on that?
I have a comment on that. I think so we're talking about the negotiation. I think it's funny people talk like it's like Russians don't have brains. They just gonna say okay to whatever you offer them. There's someone else who's locked up in Germany, and
In Germany?
yes, from what I've saw the article real quick. I didn't read into it, but supposedly there is a guy who basically offed, um, for cannot use the word,
Hmm.
offed a ex Chechen um, um, warrior, and he's part of the, let's say he got basically a state contract to do
Hmm.
the hit.
Hmm.
And I think Russia, from what I understand, Russia tried to get him out with the help of US, um, and that US didn't want to cooperate with that. But I think that the Russians knew that as a PR they had to get Britney out, and when you, so in a trade you always have to know the wants of the opponent or whoever you're negotiating with,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
the pressure they have, and the pressure was to get Britney back as soon as possible. The other Marine He's been there already 3 years, so
Yeah.
that's not really. And plus, he's not really that well known. Britney has a face to it, to her, to her,
Mhm.
not to it.
Yeah. Well, we don't know
Well,
how
yes, I don't know.
what
I
pronoun she
don't want to misgender her. But
Yeah, yeah. So it's just to follow up, and then maybe we can proceed. But yeah, it's what you said. At the end of the day, two things. Something you told me that always stuck with me, and I think you heard it somewhere else. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
oh, that's Jay-Z said it once.
Oh well, it's a perfect tie-in because I got something to tell about that as well. But you don't get what
See?
you
We're
don't.
good at negotiating.
Yeah, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate, and
Mhm,
negotiation is all about leverage as well. So what they did was you mentioned that Brittany Griner has a face. Well, what a lot of people with influence organizations with influence did was they kept pushing for her face to remain relevant. So,
mhm,
so people don't forget her, and
mhm.
that's how she became, let's say, the best, or at least it was in the US interest to move, or at least in Biden's interest to move probably the Democratic Party as well, saying, hey, we need to get her out, because if Trump, we don't know how 2024 is going to turn out. If Trump gets elected and she gets imagine that, imagine if Trump gets elected in 2024 and if Britney wasn't released, he negotiated the release.
The
And
L.
the
And plus, don't forget, you have a asset now.
you have an asset now,
Mhm.
and that is that you think he crossed.
No, 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 no. You
Or-
have an asset. When you're running campaign, you can use that
yeah,
asset.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
And
don't think you have the asset when you have a Marine who's been 4 years already.
no one cares.
Oh, it's not a face. It sounds really bad, but it is how these deals are looked at.
Yeah, it's like the Russian. They mentioned this on the Russian network. A lady, I don't know if she's a journalist or a republic or
Mhm,
an official, state official or
mhm.
something. But he said, well, the reason. So according to her, the reason why Brittany, I was gonna say another. I was
Britney
gonna
Spears?
no, the other Brittany.
I don't know. Continue.
Yeah. So Brittany Griner. So the reason why Brittany. So according to her, uh,
Mhm.
the reason why Brittany Griner was chosen as part of the deal instead of the Marine was because the Marine is a man, the Marine is white, and the Marine is
No,
hetero.
no. This
So,
is this is oh, this
so
is this is a great rhetoric that they put out there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
These Russians ain't stupid,
yeah,
but
no, no, that's intelligence,
and he said, "Well,
intelligence work right there.
this is just a rhetoric, and yeah, they
Yeah,
know what's happening. They
yeah,
know what's
yeah.
happening."